This is Corey.
And I'm Sharonda.
And this is Until Forever. This is a relationship podcast where we don't claim to be experts or gurus, but we do want to help somebody. And we want somebody to help Sharonda. Because I'm perfect in all of my ways. And I don't think of anything that I do wrong. Can you think of something?
Yes, I can think of plenty.
Okay. Well, I would challenge her to name the plenty, but I don't think she can. And I want to put her on the spot. Okay. I don't want her to look bad on the relationship podcast. It's not right. Be making her look, you know. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, but okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could go there.
We could.
You want to go there?
Do you?
See? I think that's one of the flags where I believe if I had somebody over here to help me, you would throw a flag on the play. You would say, we got a coworker. And whenever I'm being silly, he'll put he get a little tissue or something and be like, He's trying to help me out. I appreciate the help because we all need it every now and then. Ain't that right?
That's so right. So right.
Okay, whatever. So, this is very fitting. You think we're off subject. We're really not. Because our marriage ain't perfect. It's not. We run through bumps and bruises and different things that we've got to talk through and work through. The important thing is that we press through. Because one day, we stood before the Lord and many witnesses. You remember the witnesses?
Some of them.
Okay. She remembers some of them. I remember all of the witnesses.
Lies.
There are a few that I don't remember. But you was there. I appreciate you for coming. And you probably gave us some money. So definitely appreciate. I thought we was rich. We was in the hotel.
My God.
We threw all the money on the bed.
Don't say it like that. We were organizing cash from checks and gift cards.
And getting the thank you cards ready, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we did. We stood before those many witnesses that gave us money. And if you want to give us some more,
okay,
I'll put the cash out. Should I put the cash out?
No, let's keep it going.
I won't put the cash out. And we took vows. AEIOU. Vows. Is that how you say it? Okay. We took them. Yes, we did. And we took them before the Lord. And we take marriage seriously. At least I do. I take it very seriously because it's covenant before God. You are entering into covenant with your significant other before God and all of the witnesses and saying that you're going to love and hold and cherish and fight and keep it moving until one of y'all die. Like that's literally what the house said. So we wanted to talk about it. And what happened that we wanted to talk about it? What did you think?
Seriously?
Well, I'm just saying, didn't something happen? See, that was a segue. She didn't catch it.
The worst segue ever.
Well, let me try again. I'm trying again. Many clouds of witnesses.
Oh,
and we took these vows, right? And, we told each other till death do us part. So we wanted to talk about that today.
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I was scrolling on social media and I came across this reel or short of Sarita Jakes from Bless You. I guess he's holding in the second one. Bless you.
I tried. Thank you.
So I came across this reel or short of Sarita Jakes while her and Bishop T.D. Jakes are on a stage at a conference they did. And she was given this spiel about marriage vows. And so because of the difference that she's making from traditional vows versus, writing your own, it kind of like sparked this idea that we should talk about vows, 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 and commitment and what that means. And so then Corey asked, where did marriage vows come from? So did a little Google research and came across this article from Christianity.com. And we will link that in the description.
Oh.
But it's saying that the traditional marriage vows actually came around the 16th century, published in the Book of Common Prayer, with other things that were needed and are still used today, such as prayers for funerals and weddings and for those who are ill, etc., etc. And it's kind of funny that you mentioned before God, because the article points out that that part is not actually said in a lot of modern day weddings, but it was said traditionally, probably like in our parents' and grandparents' weddings at the end of their marriage vows.
So it's fair to say that marriage vows come from a God-based
Yes.
deal.
So they're saying that in the article they're saying that most of the things from the vows connect to the writings of Paul when he's explaining Christ to the church and a husband and a wife. Because another thing that is no longer in the modern day version of a traditional vow is for the wife to say that she will obey her husband, but that is in the scripture that Paul wrote.
So did you say that at our wedding, at our marriage?
That was, I honestly don't remember.
I bet you don't.
Oh, excuse me. Wow. There's no video, so it doesn't matter.
There isn't a video. I think we should redo our vows.
Well, I bet you do.
I want that obey part.
I bet you do.
I think it was in there. God knows.
Respect is in the husband, so. Okay.
So okay. So here's the thing: our vows still relevant in marriages today? Like when you have a marriage ceremony, should vows still be stated? And if they are, should they be the biblically based vows that we get the whole thing from?
Well, to me, the traditional vows cover everything. And when people write their own, they're writing from what they're thinking about at that moment, whatever those things could be. I mean, that's not to say some people don't cover the everything that is covered in traditional vows, but I don't know. It's basic and it yet covers everything. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. Love and honor, cherish, sickness and in health, until death parts us.
So
forsaking all others.
Right. So why do we not? Did we play the clip?
You should have played the clip already.
Okay. I don't remember if you put a place in there to say.
I paused, but no, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want you to see the clip. So here's the clip.
It breaks my heart because we take 30 minutes to say the most important words that you'll ever say in a commitment, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, richer for poor. Then this new generation came along and we want to make our own vows. You know why? Because it's easy to break. It's easy to say, when I saw you walking across the water in the middle of the night, shut up. Better or worse, sickness, health, richer, poor, forsaking all others, I'ma cling to him.
And now we're back from the clip. So, what's some things that stick out to you about what was said in that clip?
The way her whole attitude is like, shut up, for better, for worse. Like, She's like, forget all the little cute things you could say while you're standing in front of each other. Like, just stand on these basic commitments because, like I said, they cover everything.
Because here's the thing, marriage is scary, and if you are entering into marriage and you're not scared just a little bit, you probably
Not gonna be married that long.
yeah you're not ready. Gee, you didn't think this thing through. Real talk. If you standing at the altar and it ain't hit you yet that this is a lifetime commitment that you're about to make. I mean, we'll some of us will romanticize marriage and we'll love the ceremony and we just all excited and we picking out colors and all this kind of stuff, and we get to that altar moment and we're just skipping on through it and we haven't put much thought into it. But before we buy a house, we reading all the fine print. Some of us we reading all the
I
fine
hope you
print.
are.
We're looking at how much we're going to be paying in the long run. We're looking at interest rates. We're sizing stuff up. We're making sure we get the right house. We make sure that house has everything we need. Like we're looking at the neighborhood. We're looking at the schools that the kids going to be going. Like, you look at all of that stuff when you're talking about buying a house. Why don't we take our significant other that serious when we're entering into covenant with them? This is covenant. And I don't think people understand that. I think there was one time in life, it was probably the early 2000s, where just weddings were just the thing. Like, all the reality shows were about weddings, and Bridezilla was popping, and everybody was just wanting to be married. I need to get married. I'm pushing 30. I'm not married yet. I need to get married, 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 married. And really what you're saying is, I need to enter into covenant with someone and never leave them because it's in front of God. Like, you're not really realizing how serious it is. And that's what I love about Sister Jakes, Mother Jakes, is how she really pushed the fluff aside and said, "Shut up, stop, till death do you." Like, it's the bare basics of what you're doing. Is you're saying to God, not to old girl daddy, not to your friends and family, not to your exes so they'll quit calling you. You saying to God, this is the person that I am committing my life to for the rest of my life. And if that's not where your head is, you don't need to be taking that step. It's not something to take lightly. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree. The whole video is good because he's kind of like this little segment with Sarita talking is really just like this small moment that he's like sharing the platform with her to share. But then like they continue just discussing. There's another part where Bishop Jakes is just like, you don't make it to 50 years of marriage by being happy every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started talking about like the turns of life. So like Corey and I have shared on some of like the things that we've gone through, and we've only been married a little over 11 years. I can only imagine what more we will have to experience in life together over the next 20, 30 years. Because every day is not roses. And so like when you take these vows and you say them, like you're confessing them to the person you're pledging your life to, before witnesses and before God. Like it's a promise. And so for me, to want to break the promise, like did I even really try? Did I even really fight for it? And so I think a lot of the marriages that started before us, for people we know and just people we don't even know, but like they've shared their stories with us, like you just kind of like sit back and just say, oh, I don't want to do that. Like I just want to give it my all. And that's what my commitment is. It's like for better and for worse, for richer and for poorer. And so, yeah.
So, how does that, what is that, how do I want to say this? So nowadays, because I mean, and this is my opinion. I feel like nowadays marriage is more so looked at like your regular relationships.
Yeah, I mean, because people easily enter it and easily exit it,
Hmm.
and they don't see it as something that they're supposed to be committed to.
And that's not out. Please don't think we are bashing divorcees. If that was you, and you had to get out of your thing, I you know, thank God you made it out. God is a God of grace and mercy. If you weren't supposed to leave it, I still believe God is able. I still believe God has graced you for this season. I still believe God has greater and better for you. But I think that like a lot of things, we have gotten to where we take the sanctification out of things. We take the holiness out of things. I don't mean to get deep, but we take the what's the word I'm looking for? The sacredness.
Yeah, I
We,
mean, because yeah, like you're saying, we're not bashing people who have gotten divorced. Please believe I've had a friend where she was just like, I don't know if I could do this anymore, and I'm like, look, if y'all not willing to fight for this together and go back to the vows and respect and honor and cherish and love each other, then there's no point in like continuing on with this. Like there's no point in continuing on with somebody who can't respect you and forsake all others. There's no point in continuing on with somebody who can't love you without abusing you. And you know, there are definitely things that you just shouldn't put up with. But like in the same breath, marriage is sacred and this is like the guideline. Like every day something you're doing should be coming back to this vow that you made to each other, whether you wrote it yourself or you did the traditional vows.
right.
Especially if you wrote it yourself, you came up with that on your own. Like you came up with it on your own. So I think that even puts even more weight on it to me because
Hmm.
no one asked you to say it. You're saying it from your own heart, your own thoughts, your own mindset. Like this is what I'm committing to doing.
Hmm. In the covenant before God and the many clouds of
Oh
witnesses.
gosh.
That's what you're doing. So if you say I'll drink your bath water, girl,
Ugh.
you say that, and you included that in the covenant,
Please don't say
and
that.
you ain't drank no bath water yet,
Yeah.
I believe God is like, bro, she done took plenty of baths, and you still ain't did what you said you was gonna do. I'm sorry, look. All I know is that when it comes to us, um, I was scared. I wasn't scared because I didn't feel like I could commit. I was scared because that is a big decision. That is a big thing. I didn't take it lightly. That is something that's not what outfit do I wear today. That's not, that's not even what school do I want to go or what job do I want to apply for. It's who do I want to stand before God and say, I want this person for me. This is who I want. I want to walk through life for this. I want this. I hope this is your will. I've prayed. We've moved forward. This is what I want, and this is who I choose to enter into covenant with. This is who I choose to forward my family with. This is who I choose to bear my children, who will then be given back to you, who you will then use just like you're using me. Like it's so much more deeper than what we are allowing it to be, and I think that is why marriages are, I think it's well over 50% now, especially in the church, that in divorce. I think when we start treating marriage the way God intended for us to treat it, that we'll see more success with marriages. Not meaning you stick with abuse, not meaning that, but meaning you're actually putting God first and you're actually treating the thing that you have entered into covenant with, that this whole marriage thing, you're treating it like it's supposed to be. Like that's, real talk. But just to get back, because, I think we're this episode, but just to get back to what Sister Jakes, Mother Jakes is pointing out is that it's really or I think T.D. Jakes, Bishop Jakes said that. But it's the hard stuff that makes your marriage. It's the hard days that make it. It's the big stuff that you don't think you're gonna make it through. Our big issue. And look, every marriage is gonna have a big issue. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think you've got going on. At some point, your marriage is gonna have a big issue. Whether it's trying to get over a loss of someone, losing the child together, losing your mother or father or sister or brother or someone lost. It deals a heavy blow to us. It changes us. We become people who we didn't think were going to become. Like that's what loss does that to you. So whether it's that or if it's infidelity, if it's trust issues, like you're going to have this big thing that's going to rock your marriage and really determine which direction your marriage is going to go. We had that early, and it was trust issues. It was something that I kept from her that I didn't want her to know about. That she ended up finding. Look, they always gonna find out. I pretend like she ain't here. They always gonna. They can't. You cannot hide. They always, especially because God be like, bro, I'm gonna pull the covers off you, G. And I just, I thought I could just skate over this stuff and build a happy family, but the foundation wasn't right. And God said, go back, fix the foundation, which was terrible because we had already started building. My God, I'm preaching today. This is what I need. Please catch this. If you get a house and you set the foundation and you start building the house and you find out your foundation is wrong, you know all the work you got to do to save that house, to get down, to fix the foundation, and then come back up and start building the house again. That's where we was at. The foundation was jacked, and it was made to look like it was all right. And now we had to reset. We had to fix the foundation, and then we had to get back to the house, which was already being built. Now you got to go back and fix stuff that was looking good before, but it was built on a lie. So now you got to restructure that and fix it right. Like it was terrible. Our first 2-3 years of marriage, I'd question sometimes if we was gonna make it. I made her unpack her bags a bunch of times. No, I didn't. But she thought about it. I promise you she did. She'll tell you. Did you think about it? You don't have to tell her. Go ahead and tell her. You want to tell her.
No,
You
we
can't
did.
wait.
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
I threw divorce out.
Yeah.
Probably. Ooh, more than a couple of times, like the first 2 years for sure.
Absolutely.
Because you don't see how it can get better. Like you just don't see it. But to me, that's why we're doing the podcast, is because we didn't have a lot of marriages sharing examples.
Yep.
Like there are tons of marriages out here where like they got stories. They're not going to share their stories unless they need to. And then half the time, most of them still won't share their stories. So like we're doing this like transparency, hoping that brings up more conversations between other married couples and dating couples, because a lot of people go through things and they don't share it. And if you would share it, then it might help somebody else realize this isn't the end. Like if they can make it through that, then we can make it through this. Like what are we going to do? How are we going to commit to make it through this moment right here? Because in the grand scheme of things, like when you look at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of a marriage, this 1 year issue or this 2-month issue is not that big in comparison to everything else we could experience together.
Absolutely agree. It took a while, man. It took like weeks without any relations. Bro, I was struggling.
Are you seriously talking about
I'm
this?
sorry. I'm trying to be real. I just want you to know what it
Okay.
took. I'm trying to be real. I don't mean to go. I'm just saying. And I just kept telling myself, it's my fault. Gee, I shouldn't. I was in such a pity party state. It's my fault, Lord. It's my fault. I deserve it, Lord. Like I was really, Anyway, the point is, marriage is real, man. It really is, and it really does take work. And I'm glad that we got through our rough patch early. Now look, that don't mean some other stuff may not come up and cause us to have another rough patch. But the fact that we've made it through bad stuff before helps us realize that there is a tomorrow, like there is a through this, not a what?
I'm laughing because it's like the kids just watch the cruise and they're like Tomorrowland, and you're like a tomorrow. Sorry.
You picked a bad page to start off. Dang, I said there is a through this. Oh.
I'm sorry. That's all that was playing in my head. It's Tomorrowland from the cruise.
Y'all tell me what you think. Was she laughing at the cruise, or was she laughing because
I'm sorry, we have kids. It was
we
funny.
gonna make it through whatever? Boy, did you really laugh?
I'm laughing at you now.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
Y'all look at her eye. I'm looking at the monitor because I want to look and see
We're
if she
gonna make
means.
it. We're gonna make it.
Sing it right now.
No,
I know somehow.
I'm not singing.
I know some way.
Oh goodness.
What's
Why
the-
did I start, you guys?
Seriously, because we've made it through before, we can lean on that fact that God brought us through that rough patch, and He'll bring us through the next one. I think that we have to be realistic when it comes to marriage. I think we have to realize that it is hard, it is a struggle, and as long as you can look your significant other in the eye, and matter of fact, do that right now. Do that right now. Not right now. Not right now. do that right. Do do this seriously. If you think you're with the one you want to marry, find you some marriage vows and say them, and look at her.
Maybe don't say them out loud if you're not.
Yeah, don't tell her
actually
you're doing it.
engaged.
Don't tell you. Don't tell you. Don't tell, because then there's a covenant.
Just
you
think
done messed
about them
around.
through your head.
You done messed around and said covenant.
Don't plant the seed if you're not ready.
But seriously, read them and then think about it. Like for real, don't tell her you do it. Don't tell him you doing it. Y'all just do it and like think about your significant other while you reading those marriage vows, and like really ask yourself, can I stand before God and say this stuff? Because if I can do that, then maybe this is But if you can't, like if there's no way you can stand before God and say I promise to love and cherish and hold and all that fun stuff with just that person, then bro, you wasting time. It's time to move. It's time to move. Why do we waste? I'm sorry, that's another episode.
That's a guy episode probably. Why do you all waste time?
Wait a minute. Wait a bit. I'm offended. We the only ones wasting time?
Oh yeah. You know any relationships with women wasting time?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna talk about those.
Laura Winslow.
Oh no, real relationships, sir.
Rachel.
Real
Those were real to me.
relationships.
You want me to name real people?
Don't go to television.
I'll
We're not
name
talking
some
about
real
family
people.
matters and friends.
Okay, here's some real people. You ready?
Okay.
Judy.
Not famous people.
No, real people. Judy Lawrence. You remember her?
No, I don't.
She had all those issues. You don't remember her?
I don't.
Shane Quinta.
Oh my gosh.
Now we need to put these people out there.
Find real people that we
Sharonda
know.
did it. Shane Quinta gonna call you in a minute. How can they
Help
find
me.
this on social media?
Help me.
Help you. You stood before the Lord and said,
Oh, God.
for better or worse.
Yeah, I did.
So what's this, better or worse right
It's
now?
kind of in between. I don't know.
Lord have mercy. How can they listen if they want to?
Really?
How they gonna find it?
If you all would like to continue any further.
If you just wanna, I don't know why you
Oh my
would.
gosh.
Is this something you liked?
If you are somehow still listening,
Mm-hmm.
you can find us on Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and Facebook.
Instagram.
Well, they can't watch or listen to the entire episode on Instagram,
But it'll take you the way
they
you
can
need to
follow
be.
us on Instagram.
See? And that's like Bible study. You can't
Oh goodness.
you
No.
can't get
No.
all of it.
No. No.
But it'll take
No.
you to the
No. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Until Forever. We'll see you guys next week.
you can't get all of it. But it'll take in the vows
I
you
just
said
ended that. So.
you said you wouldn't interrupt me in our vows.
Didn't. No, I didn't.
You didn't do your own?
No, I didn't.
You told me you was gonna fry chicken naked. Remember that?
No, I don't.
Remember
Why
that?
would anybody fry anything naked?
That's the ultimate sacrifice.
Unless it's inside of an air fryer or a deep fryer.
That's the ultimate sacrifice. 'Cause
No, sir.
that is the ultimate display of love. Chicken grease popping up.
You go first. You could go first.
And you just taking it.
You can go
And
first.
smiling the whole time, saying, "I love you, baby."
You can go first.
Because the chicken grease is popping.
You can go first.
Bye. See y'all later.